if Juliana had this one-on-one date before Carolina, this isn't happening. This conversation is not happening. There's no drama. That's all it is the order of the one-on-one dates. If Juliana had her date before Carolina, this is not a conversation that we're having. Hey everyone, thanks for watching this episode of BachMakers. Make sure to
like,
comment,
and subscribe.
Thanks for watching. Keep watching. Hello everyone, welcome back to BachMakers presented by Good Time Media. I am Wyatt. That is Michael. We are here for week 4 recap of Grant's season of The Bachelor. We are down to 10 women, which is pretty insane because at this point in Joey's season on week 4, there were still 16 women left, or around there, maybe 15. Because I was comparing weeks, and I was like, was this already down to top 10 for Joey's season? No. So if you think this season's going by very fast, it is. It is zooming by. We're now down to 7. We had 10 beginning of tonight. We're down to 7. Michael, where's your head at after this episode?
Wow. Now that you said that, I'm like, okay, it's not just me that feels like this season's flying by, because this season is flying by. And yeah, I mean, so that means hometowns will be next week. Not next week, the week after. Maybe.
No, I'm guessing
they're at 7. They're not going to cut it to 5 and then 4. They're not going to cut it to 5 and 4 unless there's going to be less than 4 at hometowns. Unless there's going to be 3 at hometowns, 2 fantasy suite, and then boom.
Something weird's going to happen. This is all unorthodox.
When are they recording the tell-all? Has that happened yet? That's got to be coming up that they're going to record.
I have no idea. No idea. How does that change anything?
I don't know. Because I want to go. Because I want ABC to invite us.
It's never going to happen. All right. Let's get into the episode. There's overarching. We'll get into the specifics of the drama. But the thing that is at the forefront of my mind is how all of this season's drama could so easily be solved if the girls just communicate, like talk to each other a little bit more. And they almost got there a few times. And my communication degree is just like screaming at the TV. It's like, if they just talk to each other and like for like more than 10 seconds, all of it will be hashed out and they'll be fine. And they'll be happy-go-lucky friends again. It's that easy. It really is.
But the drama started because they were talking to each other. Because they were talking to each other off camera. That's literally how the drama started between Carolina.
Yeah, and then if they were like, hey, let's like unpack this. There was a miscommunication here. Can we like see what's actually going on here? They would solve it and it'd be fine. But they refused to do that. And it's driving me a little insane because all this drama, it's always silly on this show. This feels the silliest that we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of prefer like the Sydney drama to this way more. Like
I don't want to say
the outlandish drama. I like.
I'll take it back.
You know the Shanae from what season was that? Clayton.
Yes,
Matt James,
or one of those seasons. I don't know.
I know
Shanae. Yeah.
I want that drama. I want just like, what is this? You know, I need more stupid drama. This is stupid, but this is stupid.
I want to take that back. This isn't even silly. It's avoidable. It's avoidable drama. That's all it is. It's so avoidable. And it's frustrating to watch, to be honest. But we'll go through the episode chronologically. We start in Madrid, or we're heading to Madrid. So we start with a little shot of Jesse and Grant playing one-on-one basketball because we have to put basketball into the date. They found just a court in Madrid. I would guess Jesse put up a good fight. I don't think this was a blowout. I know Grant has the basketball background. I think Jesse's kind of a force in the paint. In one-on-one, I bet he could D up a guy and play solid D.
Nah, I think Grant's actually washing the floor with them. Jesse's washed. He's got like 5 jobs left and right. You think he has time? You think he has time in between calling Missouri, Florida to like go put up some shots? No, that man's constantly watching film, watching reality TV film, constantly flying. He's on flights. Nah, he's not putting up shots. Like Grant's
he's not putting up shots. But you've played basketball with football guys before. It's annoying.
Are you thinking of Jake Labus, of just how physical they are in the paint?
I wasn't, but yes, that's a good example.
Yeah, I mean,
Like it's hard. It's like it's annoying. It's not. It's not good hoops, but it's good.
He hasn't played football in 20 years, dude. Like
he's still a unit. Jesse's. I don't like how you're downplaying Jesse.
I will downplay Jesse. All I want.
Disagree. One other thing I want to mention before we get into the actual episode is the Spain intro. The way that was edited, it looked like the Zoe 101 like theme song. Just weird transitions, like lots of the slideshow thing. They had Cardi B
playing. Yeah.
It was a Cardi B song, I think. I was like, "Whoa, why are we doing too much with this intro?" But that was that's a nitpicky thing. First one-on-one date, we have Dina, the self-proclaimed ice queen, kind of rules. She called herself the ice queen. She says feelings make you weak, which
bars.
Again, we have kind of bars. Dina, we've talked about this a lot. She feels too good for this show. I don't know why Dina is here. Why is Dina on this show?
Well, I mean, she's a great person. And I think the casting did great because they're like, wait, this person is so like emotionally mature, is so awesome, great job, beautiful, like from a great city, might as well get her on the show. And then I think she's like, yeah, does she need the show? No. She can definitely get any guy she wants to if she wants. But like, I don't know, maybe she's a fan of the show and just wanted to go on, give it a shot.
Also, the way they were talking, so they go on their date, they go through the streets of Madrid, they play soccer with some random kids who were just put there randomly. They hop on a boat, they write notes. She's talking to Grant and basically saying, and then she cuts the camera or has her little confessional and she's like, oh, boys aren't really used to someone like me or someone that has the means that I do. Is she rich? We've talked about this a little bit. Is she loaded?
I mean, dude, I think so. Wait, let me check her on LinkedIn and I can just go to salary.com.
I feel like she is. The way she's alluding to it, it sounds like she is rolling in it, which props to Dina. Again, another reason Dina is too good for this show. I don't know why she's here in the nicest way possible. You're too good for this, Dina. You really are. She's emotionally mature, probably incredibly wealthy.
Found her.
What are we doing? This is breaking news.
Oh, one, I'm just going to connect with her on LinkedIn. Pow.
Of course. Bang.
You keep talking a little bit.
I mean, there's not much else to talk about this date. This date was a little bit boring. They go to the boat. They do the note thing where they both say the same super vague thing where they're like, I want to love that's fun in kids. And she thought that was adorable that they said the same thing. Pretty vague there, kind of a stretch. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't quite see it with Grant. I see Dina as a great person. And I think I said this on the live show. I think Grant wants to want someone like Dina, but he doesn't. He wishes he did because he sees all the good qualities that Dina has, but he doesn't actually in his heart of heart wants that.
Yeah, so, I think they're great together, but they're not endgame. Let's be real.
Yeah.
They're not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
My findings were salary.com saying I found her exact title and her exact law firm she works at. And oh my gosh, connect with Jen Tran? Yes. Huh, sick. Nice. Charity Lawson. Oh my God.
All right, this isn't your LinkedIn slideshow. Let's go. What do we get? What do we find out?
The range said 150 to 250. So, I mean, that's a large range. But that's also national average. So I'm guessing Chicago might be a little more. But
good for her. Good for her.
Don't know.
Attaboy. Attagirl.
Pocket watch. She's a dog.
Yeah, so I mean, any thoughts on this date? Very boring date, I think, in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, pretty boring date. At the dinner, what was there talk about? I can't even remember. Oh, the one thing that I wrote down in my notes about it was Grant just being, you kind of remind me of my mom. And I'm like, which is a good thing. It's a good thing to have like your partner remind you of your parent, especially like he loves his mom. And so like, it's the quality she has that she's hardworking, makes a lot of money, very focused, hardworking, determined, and everything like that. So I get that part of it. But just saying it vocally, it always just sounds like weird. It's kind of like the episode in Friends with the whole, the Princess Leia, not the Princess, the Princess Leia episode of Friends. That whole episode with the Ross's fantasy. No, but then she starts turning into his mom because Chandler had. Okay, just watch that episode. It's the one with. I don't know. If you look up Princess Leia Friends episode, you'll find it. Go watch it. One of the best episodes of all time.
I agree. That's a weird thing to say. You have to be specific when you say it. You have to be like, oh, I like how you're super kind. It reminds me of my mom. You can't just say overarching, you as a person remind me of my mom, because then how do you make out with that person? You can't. You can't do it. You have to be super specific. Like, like you have to be so clear which parts you are referring to. You'd be like, oh, like your sense of humor reminds me of my mom. Like stuff like that. You can't just be like, oh, you as a woman remind me of my mom. Can't say that. I don't. And he clarified, he's like, I don't want it to sound weird. It's going to sound weird every time you do it. So maybe don't.
Mommy.
Stop. No. I want to cut that. I really want to cut that.
What? No,
I'm not going to. I'm not going to, but I hated all that. I hate a lot of things you do on the show.
I was waiting for you to. Okay, whatever. I like that bit. I'm going to keep doing that, actually.
Okay. One question that is going to come up before we get into Carolina, which is going to be the bulk of this show. The question we need to start asking ourselves. So we are down to the final 7 at this point. We need to ask ourselves, when we start thinking endgame, who is Grant with right now, if anybody? Who of these women would let Grant put out these songs? And you and I both agree there's no way in hell Dina would let Grant put out Party Girls. That's not a chance. He'd run that by Dina, and she would be like, what the hell is this? You're not putting this out. So I think that immediately X's Dina out. She has 0 chance of winning this now. And that's the question we got to start asking ourselves.
I don't think Latia would honestly let him put that
so
out. So
let's go through. Let's go through the remaining. So spoiler alert to the end. If you're watching this, you know who went home. Let's go through the final 7. Who would let Grant put it out? So we say Dina.
I think she would. For the bit,
Carolina would. Carolina would. Juliana would. Juliana would definitely let him put it out.
Alex would.
Alex would let him put it out. Who else do we have? Who are we missing? Zoe. I don't think Zoe. I don't know.
Half.
Zoe's right in the middle. And then Sarafiena, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. I'd give her the
So the only 2 people who wouldn't let him put it out, Dina and Latia?
Latia would not. Yeah. No way.
Yeah, I agree.
I just don't see it.
That's where we're at. So I think that's our question we got to have in the back of our mind when we start thinking about Endgame. All right, let's do it. Carolina. How do we want to do this? Do we want to talk about
group date?
Let's do the group date first, and then we'll really ease into Carolina stuff. So cool. Group date, they do a little donkey ride. And Alex,
a little ass riding.
A lot of ass in this group date. That's not an exaggeration. Some would argue too much ass.
That they liked it. Yeah. And Alex liked riding that ass.
I don't like how we say it like that. I don't.
What?
I'm not.
She said.
I can't fully commit to this bit. I can't. It's just
grow up.
I can't do it. Down. But yeah, a lot of ass. Alex, very, very underrated moment where it might have just slid. Like, this is a PG show. All kids should be able to watch this show. They're not catching up on what Alex just said there. That's a little too much. Again, they censored balls. Yeah. They censored balls last week. And Alex can just let that rip?
It's because she didn't explicitly say anything. She insinuated something about it feeling good sitting on the donkey saddle a certain way. I don't know what she means by that. It could mean anything. But
I'm just a man. I'm just a man. I have no idea what she means by that.
I'm just a man.
How can we relate?
Ours is in our. All right.
All right, moving on. They go to the
bulls.
Matador. They ride bulls. They get off the ass and they go ride some bulls. And yeah, we have the strategy off. Basically, Alex does a little strategy of holding the horns, grabbing the bull by the horns, holds on for a long time, and Zoe says, "Watch me, I'll do that better," and steals the strategy right from under her, which I can't blame Zoe. That's like a small little tiny, oh, maybe she's still the villain type edit. You can't blame her for that. I don't think Alex was actually mad. It's just a smart strategy. And the reward is still nothing. It's still a whole lot of nothing. You get to go up on the rooftop, which Zoe was going to do anyways. That's what Zoe does anyways. She goes to rooftops with Grant. So congrats, I guess.
I called it during the live stream. I literally was like, it's going to be a Sean thing where she wins the group date and then just goes to kiss him for 5 seconds. And that's literally exactly what happened. It's just the Bachelor producers being like, oh my gosh, this is a great spot for a kiss. We got a sunset. Winner of the group date gets to kiss the man at sunset. That's a great shot. Great 20-second clip. Throw it in there. I thought it was a really big ick when Grant was holding the wheelbarrow and was going like, that was weird, Grant. I don't know how you could do that manly though. I don't think there's a way of holding a wheelbarrow and like running, even though the wheelbarrow is like it's like horse or a bull.
It's so a very specific ick.
I know. It's like a very weird thing to do normally or like without, I don't know. It just looked weird all around. It was like some, not like LARPing, but like, like horse play kind of stuff.
Play.
That kind of, yeah, I know. I think that's literally a thing. Like horse hopping, right? What? Horse jumping, or what's the one thing where you go on the pony? Like those ponies that like there's a pony and there's a pole. You stick it in between your leg. And like some people do it as fancy punishments. You have to do there's like little courses. You like pretend you're the horse jumping over the. Why am I keep going like this with showing? I don't know. Like, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I don't know if there's a name for it. It's just a little like pony thing.
Horse hobby horse. There's a Cody on that back.
Hobby horse.
Yes. Hobby. It's called hobby horse.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Not that I. Yeah. I mean.
What?
Don't worry about what I do on the
weekends. Back on track. We gotta let's quit talking about hobby horse. No one cares. What'd you think of this group date?
I thought it was stupid. Mechanical bull. Like, bring out some real bulls. Have them do the running with the bulls. Have them do that. Something exciting. Like, if they're gonna have to sign a waiver anyway, they could have got a concussion falling off that mechanical bull. They could get a concussion falling off a real bull. Come on.
That would be electric. Can you imagine? Just actual bull.
At least bring out a real bull. Because there's real bulls there.
Yeah.
Like, at least bring one out. And so
that'd be a funny joke. Bring one out and be like, hey, we're going to ride this. And they'll all freak out. And like, just kidding.
Like, no, that's bullshit.
That was good.
Thank you.
You're this guy right here.
I was setting myself.
It was a long con. It was a long build up. Well done.
Yeah.
But yeah, this date, whatever. Yeah. We're at the point where we got to this point sooner than I thought, but where the group dates are like, what's the point of this? We're already at that point. There's always a point in the season where like, all right, let's fast forward through these group dates. Let's get to what's actually happening. Let's build some connections. But the post game of this group date is where the Carolina show starts to take over. I don't know where we want to start with this. I'll say my piece on all the situation. I referenced at the beginning where a lot of this could be solved with some simple communication skills. But here's the thing with the whole Carolina conversation, the whole drama there. I don't understand the root of the issue. So if you try to simplify what this drama is, what is the problem? The idea that Carolina isn't celebrating spending time with Grant enough. And then if you're the girls, if you're Juliana or the other girls, don't you want that? Don't you want to be with Grant at the end of this? So shouldn't you be happy that Carolina's questioning things? So you should be like, yeah, keep questioning things. I'm going to be all in for Grant. And I know her side of the argument is then You should be happy because I want this one-on-one date and you got it. You should be happier about it. But at the end of the day, if Juliana had this one-on-one date before Carolina, this isn't happening. This conversation is not happening. There's no drama. That's all it is the order of the one-on-one dates. If Juliana had her date before Carolina, this is not a conversation that we're having.
That's a very good point that I just now took into consideration. What I was going to say, to play devil's advocate like I do, not to go
You're not. It's not even devil's advocate. We agree. We agree with each other.
I know. I'm just saying from like the other girl's perspective, putting my feet in their shoes, shoes in the feet. They're mad for two reasons. I think the first reason relates back to Carolina telling Grant something that Rose told her in confidence, like behind closed doors, whatever, kind of like spilling that beans. Maybe it's not like the most girl thing to do, but if it pissed Carolina off and like everything like that, like Grant told her, the week before, bring it to my attention. And I think the other reason is that she got a PJ to Vegas, a nice dinner, a memorable date, are definitely, without a doubt, the best date so far this season, right? That's just, without a doubt, we can say that that's number one. And that's jealousy. The girls are jealous that they didn't get that. And they're like, you're not being grateful for that date, which I don't think it's Carolina's not being grateful. She's just being like, that was cool, but like, that's it. I've spent, 6 hours with this man. Am I supposed to be able to bring him home to mama in 2 weeks? What? That's just what she's saying. Right?
You should question things. And the fact that there's a lot, this is a very like multifaceted issue here. There's a lot going on because you, vocab word. Come on now. Like at the end of the day, it kind of goes back to Grant because Grant he's just a fun vibes guy. All he's trying to do with every single one of these girls is, oh, I just want to make sure I see their fun side. Oh, I hope we have fun today. I'm just looking to have fun, no drama today. He's doing that with every girl. You can't just only be having fun with all of them. At some point, I don't think Grant realizes this. You got to get engaged at the end of this thing. And he's just like, hey, like, I just want to make sure the vibe's all right. Everyone's having a good time. He's like a party starter. He's like, all right, I want to make sure everyone's having a good time, enjoying themselves. What?
You say party?
Yeah. Oh.
Party girls?
Party girls? Cue the music. And then, so there's that. There's a lot of issues going on here. And yes, Carolina is justified a little bit to be like, hey, I went on one date with this guy. The fact that I'm still like not sure if I want to bring him home to my parents is valid. And that's a fair criticism or a fair like questioning to go through. And the other girls are validated a little bit and saying, I just want that one-on-one time and I wish I had it. And you had it. So I want that, which is also fair. Also, let's think about this for a second. We saw the promo. We saw the teaser. Juliana is going to get arguably a better date. She's getting the pretty woman date. She's getting the dresses. She's getting the castles. She's getting the helicopters. I would guess and go out on a limb here to say Juliana's going to be pretty quiet next week because she's going to get the date that she wanted, that Carolina got. I don't think Juliana's going to be much of a problem after that date. And again, I don't think Juliana is a villain here. I don't think Carolina's a villain here. Again, it is all lack of communication between these girls that can be easily solved and avoided. But yeah, once Juliana gets that one-on-one date, this conversation's over. And then other people are still mad.
It looks like it's not going to be over. In the teaser, it definitely looks like she steals him for a bit. And even Dina gets mad at Carolina because Dina really took Carolina's side, this episode, which was very touching moment, very cool moment. I think we can all agree on that. But yeah, it looks like next week it'll be really tough to defend Carolina, at least in the way it's edited. I'll say it like that. But yeah, no, I mean, I do want to give Grant some props because I don't think he's just fun vibes. I've been seeing a little bit more trying to peel back the layers because he always says that. layers to you? Are there layers? I want to know if there's more layers to her.
I want to peel you like an onion, girl. I want to peel you like an onion.
Oh, yeah. Until you cry or until you make me cry. Yeah. I think he's doing a better job at that, right? You see him asking the questions, kind of like saying, oh, because of this, like in the date with Sarafiena, because of something that happened in the past. Why are you like this? Kind of like more like deep questions that you would ask when you're getting deep with another person. Yeah, and so I will give Grant his props there.
So I agree. Grant did good. He checked up on Carolina. He noticed she was upset and did all that, which bothered the girls a little bit, which I was fine with. The one thing, and this isn't Grant's fault, it felt like, and this is 100% a production move, they were so close to resolving this drama. So close. After Dina had that moment with Carolina, checked in on her and said, hey, hope you're okay. Like, I see you. And then Parisa stepped in and she was like, hey, we are all feeling emotions differently. We all show that differently and express that in our own unique way. And it felt like they were one step away from agreeing and solving this drama. And that's when Grant walked in and all the girls got quiet and Carolina was still crying. And then Carolina and Grant had to go talk. And that created more of a riff. They were so close. And again, that's not Grant's fault at all. Production definitely sent him in at that time, but that's evil because they were so close to resolving it.
Yeah, I still think if he doesn't pull Carolina there, and let's say he does give out a group date rose to, I think it was probably going to go to Zoe. I think that's fair to say. She got pretty deep with him during that group date.
Yeah.
Their little talk. I still think there'd still be some animosity towards Carolina for just, everybody's saying the Carolina show, everything like that. So I still think people would be upset at Carolina, and I don't think it'd be over. And it wasn't over because we saw the whole meltdown at the cocktail party, and Rose was just like, you did me dirty. You're backstabbing. And they kept bleeping everything. She was cussing up a storm. Remember in the PowerPoint when I said she likes to cuss?
Mm-hmm.
Can we give myself not interrogator,
investigative journalist award, Pulitzer Prize,
my Pulitzer. That's insane. And I got that from an Instagram post, probably 2016.
That's gonna be that's all. Hey, that you will never get insight like that on any other show on the internet. Yeah. You're welcome, America.
I was like, she likes to cuss. She cussed the most out of any person so far.
It's a great.
And now she's gone.
Good job. Let's do Sarafina's date real quick, and then we'll finish up with more Ina versus Anna, Carolina versus Juliana. You like that? Ina versus Anna? It's a little easier. Shorthand.
That is so stupid. That's just like so stupid. Like you're adding 2 syllables.
You don't like it? You don't Ina versus Anna?
No, I actually hate it. I actually really hate it.
All right, I'll continue to say it actually. All right, Sarafina's date. They do the bungee jumping, the scared of heights type of date. And Grant seems to be the most scared out of the two. He's freaking out a little bit.
I'd be shitting my pants. I'd be farting up a storm for sure. Like when I get nervous and I fart, I'd be farting so much, and it would be trapped down you when you move with your swinging. So it would just be all in the fart.
I think jumping like that, bungee jumping face to face like that, has to be so dangerous. Because if you're not like super tight together and you're apart, when you bungee jump and then the momentum, you would just like squish each other. Like I would be afraid you're gonna break a nose or something. Like you got to be holding each other super tight. That seems very dangerous to me. I don't know. I've never really like clocked the safety measures of all that, but that doesn't feel like the safest way to bungee jump. I thought they were going to go individually.
Yeah, no, I had a really bad thought during that date right before they jumped. I was like, what if, God forbid,
Rachel Kirkconnell?
But like
worse?
But like way worse.
Yeah.
Well, like how do they edit? Like how is the editing saving?
Well, that's why they canceled The Bachelorette. They did a bungee jump date and something snapped, and so they just
wait. Imagine
if that comes out as like true. I apologize. We'll cancel this show because that's crazy. Can
but
you
at the
imagine?
same time, like clip it.
Bookmark that. If something catastrophic happened during a bungee jump date, that's why they canceled The Bachelorette. We'll be like Carolina breaking the Bill Cosby moves.
We called it first.
Oh, that's a crazy callback. No one listening to that is going to understand.
What do you mean? You watched that was the PowerPoint night.
I forgot that was Carolina. So Carolina
broke the Bill Cosby news.
That's great. Now that we know Carolina, and now that
it makes sense.
That's hilarious that she was tweeting about that. But Sarafiena, my wise gal, put on a hell of a performance. Really opened up. We showed her fun side, not to go back to Grant, just only wanted to see the fun side of all the girls. But we saw her personality. She showed up. And I think one of my favorite moments of the episode was Grant asking her a very weird way to ask. He was like, when we're kissing, I can tell you're not going all in.
Shit. Oh, cringe thing to say.
Like,
can we do it? I can tell you're not using as much tongue as the other girls.
Oh,
I like it when the girls use a lot of tongue.
Babe, why are you holding back on the kisses? Like, I thought we were going to get like real deep, but like, no, we're not even getting deep enough on our kisses, not even emotionally, not even talking. I just want to talk about how deep we're kissing, and it's not deep enough for week 4.
I like to use a lot of tongue when I kiss. They get deeper. I don't care that your mom's watching.
Yo, girl, where that tongue at? Come on now. All right, we're done. Then she responds with, "It's nothing.
Give me that tongue.
It's nothing with you. It's just my mom's watching at home." Valid argument. So fair.
Or great cover up. If that's not actually the truth, maybe it is. Maybe she's actually just like, I don't like kissing a lot of tongue. Yeah. Great excuse to cover up. Because he also knows that feeling when he was on Gen season, right?
Yeah. Well, then he later, like 10 seconds later, mom's still watching. He's getting handsy. You pointed out, double cheeked up.
The cameras were a little bit farther away, so maybe she thought she was like low key in the clear or something.
He went double cheeked up on a Monday evening, and I didn't appreciate it. I don't like you getting handsy with a wise gal like that. So Grant, watch yourself.
I mean, he's been handsy with not just the wise gals, every single person in the cast.
All of them.
The people that he kisses the same day he sends home, within an hour probably. Wild. I'm sorry. I would not have the balls in me to kiss somebody at a cocktail party and send them home. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Like and I think that's not even I don't get it. I don't get how you can do that. I know kissing, I don't know, maybe doesn't mean everything, or maybe does mean stuff to some people, but like that's just wild. I don't care that you're technically dating at that point.
Yeah. Well, what do we think about Sarafiena long term? Do we think this is a potential hometown? Is that where we see her going?
It's kind of like the sneaky Rachel Nance, right? I think with Joey's season, I think Rachel kind of not snuck into hometown /
she snuck into hometowns and fantasy suites, yeah.
Yeah, okay. She was like a very late bloomer, right? Late riser.
Slow burn.
Slow burn. I'm kind of seeing that arc a little bit, where I think she's probably got hometowns on the lock. Like deepness wise, I think she's got it. Deepness and funness, they seem like to have a little bit of chemistry. I was kind of skeptical of the chemistry during the bungee jumping, but then during the back and forth during the dinner date I was like, all right, I see enough of it.
Deepness could also be described as depth, by the way, just to keep you on your toes vocabulary wise. Depth.
I read books now.
I do. I read books now. What are you gonna do about it? Sarafiena, I am very proud of her performance as her coach. I'm gonna need more performances out of her because we are very thin on the wise gal group right now. It's just 2 of us, but I believe in them, and I'm excited to see what they do coming up next. Cocktail Party. I'm halfway through that book right now. I was reading some today. Midnight Library, good book. Highly recommend to people. All right, Cocktail Party. Let's get back to more Carolina's talk. So it resurfaces last week's drama with Rose, where Rose is feeling like she got done dirty by Carolina, bringing up the conversation, which we talked about last week, is again just a massive miscommunication. And maybe the only fault is bringing it to Grant. But also, if Carolina thought she heard it the way she heard it, that's something you bring to Grant. if Grant actually told Rose, if Grant actually told Rose, hey, I was thinking of you while dancing with Carolina, and
That's
Rose
fucked.
told Carolina that's fucked, and so Carolina should bring that to Grant. That's the issue. And so it's a circle, it's a triangle of miscommunication.
The question is, we'll never know what was truly said. So we'll never know whose fault it actually was. We know it's not Grant's fault. We saw the clip of what was said.
Yeah.
Unless that part of it, he said maybe something else that we didn't see. But if it is that clip that, is on, the BachMakers page on TikTok, I am on the side of Grant being like, he clearly meant when they were all dancing, he was thinking about her.
Yeah.
Not like when Carolina was straddling him. Like, let's be real. But
yeah, Grant's the only one we need. You know what we need? I want a full court case episode with Dina being the lawyer or being one of the lawyers. Like,
or the judge.
Or the judge. You're right. Judge. She could be the judge, but she's a lawyer. So it's like,
I know, but like,
we don't have another lawyer.
Judges have to like go to law school.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay, whatever.
Law.
Sorry, I didn't think out the analogy. I didn't think out the potential hypothetical. But we should have a court case episode where Dina is the judge and they both have to plead their cases.
Okay, I'll be the attorney for Carolina. You take Rose's side.
Oh,
let's see who wins.
I like Carolina. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I like you as a friend, but
all right,
sucks.
All right, we'll settle this in court.
We'll settle this in court. You'll hear from myself.
All right. Rose leaves rather abruptly. Not as abruptly as Beverly last week.
But close. Very close to as abruptly.
Yeah, as far as we know, there were no emergency surgeries needed for Rose. As far as we know, it could come out, but it was fast. It was a quick exit.
Not only was it super fast, Grant had nothing to really say about it. He was kind of just like, all right, peace, see ya.
Yeah.
But also, normally they have the camera in the cars, kind of showing like one last clip, of the chick crying in the car, right? It's kind of like what you're used to seeing when people leave. We didn't even see that. And I guess, like, I don't know, she's what, 7th or 8th, right, to place?
At that point, 9th.
Okay, 9th place, which... Was she going to get a rose?
No, 100%. Grant did not seem upset that she left. He knew, hey, you're probably going to go home 30 minutes from now, so just go beat traffic and get out of here, which is rude.
What if he was like, no, I want you to stay, and then didn't give her a rose?
Oh, didn't that happen recently? Where someone like begged him to stay? Like, no, stay, please, and then sent her home? Why does that ring a bell?
Joey definitely didn't do that. Did he?
Oh, something like that happened. I'm gonna need the comments to save me on this one because I can't remember this. But that definitely happened. That definitely happened at some point. Was it Jen? No. So at some point recently in Bachelor Nation, someone has asked someone to stay and then sent them home at that next rose ceremony. I'm fairly certain. And it might have been Joey, but I can't remember who. So chat, please leave in the comments if you know who that is. Please let me know. But yeah, that was really weird how quickly she left. I don't think she was going to get a rose at this point, so I don't think it was that big of a shakeup. But yeah, Rose is gone, and then we're down to 9, and then we get to the rose ceremony. Anything else you want to cover before we talk about who went
home? No.
Yeah, I feel like
There's talked a little thing at the cocktail party, but I'll say after.
Okay, we talked a lot about Carolina, and we'll talk more about her next week. I don't think any of us are either of us is taking a strong side either way. And obviously you're strongly on Carolina's side, but you also see where Juliana's coming from a little bit. And it's just it's avoidable. This avoidable drama. We get to the rose ceremony. I have a bone to pick with the producers, as I always do. It seems like I always do. But this was the least suspense. What?
Oh, I assumed your bone was going to be picked. Why didn't they just do the rose ceremony inside if it was freezing cold and they all had to wear coats?
Oh, that.
They
did look freezing.
Like, why? Just bake it inside. The place is big enough. There's 8 of them, 10 of them.
Also, that reminds me of something else I want to mention for next week. But no, my bone to pick with producers is this was the least suspenseful final rose of all time. We all know Carolina's getting a rose. So they always do this like, oh, is the villain of the episode going to go home? At this point, we know Carolina's getting a rose. The final rose should have been between Zoe, Natalie, and Parissa. It should have been those three. Because at that point, okay, after Alex got the rose, I'm talking about the final four. They gave it to Zoe, and then it was Carolina, Natalie, and Parissa. We all knew Carolina was getting that rose. It was so obvious. If it's between Zoe, Parissa, and Natalie, I don't know who's getting that rose. I would genuinely be curious to see what was happening there. But giving it to Zoe beforehand left the final rose was nothing. We all knew Carolina was getting that rose. So it was stupid suspense. They could have, like, they treat the audience like we're 6 years old and we're like, oh my gosh, is Carolina going to get the rose? We know that. Obviously, she's going to get the rose. Don't treat us like we're 9 years old, producers. We're smarter than that.
I think they were expecting that it was going to be a Rose versus Carolina final Rose, but Rose left. I think that's what they were hoping was going to happen, where they could set it up as a Rose versus Carolina.
Fair.
Carolina. You know, I think that's what they wanted, but then Rose left on her own terms to get the Bachelor edit.
I just get tired that they don't evolve with their audience. It's like, we know your tricks. We know what you do. You set up a villain, and then they're like, are they going to go home? And then they don't, and we know they don't, because you got to set up more, and then like, we're not falling for that. No one's falling for that. And maybe we're just too in the know, and I don't know if the average fan is picking up on that, so maybe I'm in the wrong here, but I don't know. It bothered me this week. It just felt so unnecessary. It was unnecessary suspense that wasn't suspenseful.
Yeah, I just feel like it wasn't really like that important of a rose. Like, we all knew. And so I kind of just like, this isn't the biggest ceremony. Like, it's to 7, but like next week when it's to 4, right? Or 5, but like, there's no way they cut it to 6 unless they skip the rose ceremony next week. And they just do another, like a double rose ceremony. Didn't they do that more often in prior seasons?
Skip rose ceremonies, teased rose ceremonies?
Rose ceremonies, and so they'd start the next episode with a rose ceremony.
Yes.
Why don't they do that anymore? They haven't done that at all.
It pissed me the fuck off. That's why.
Stop.
Do not even plant that seed for them to bring that back. That was the worst thing of all time. Imagine this episode if there was no rose ceremony. I'd be so mad right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's so annoying when they do that. So don't even put that idea back.
They have stuff to tease too. So I guess,
yeah, that would be so frustrating. Especially, like, imagine if they ended it right before the final rose here, and we all know Carolina gets it. That'd be the stupidest thing of all time. It'd be so dumb.
Yeah, I guess so. Right.
So the two who go home outside of Rose, Natalie and Parissa. I felt bad. Parissa was talking about the rocks, and she said, did I talk about rocks too much? No. Talk about your interest. If you're interested in rocks, you'll find a rock husband. You'll find your rock.
You'll find Patrick Starr.
You'll find your guy that will support your rocks and keep searching. Keep searching, honey.
Who will knock your rocks off. Get it? Like, knock your socks off.
Bad.
I think that was good.
I already said you'll find your rock. That's good.
Yeah, but then that'll knock your rocks off, like socks off, like a guy that'll knock your. That was good.
Okay.
No. Thumbs up in the chat. But with the Parissa thing, I don't like how he kissed Parissa, and it wasn't just a little peck. The Natalie was a little peck. When he was talking to Natalie at the cocktail party, it was a little peck. That's when I knew it was like she's a goner. Parissa, I feel like he like kissed, and gave her hand-picked rocks that the producers picked for him. Like, that's a really sentimental gift to give to somebody you're literally sending home. But maybe it also was kind of like a parting gift. Like, hey, I liked you, and I know you like rocks, so like take these as like a memory of what we could have had if I liked you more. Something like that. I don't know, but yeah, I don't like the whole kissing thing and then sending him home.
He's kissing a lot. He's kissing all of them. We haven't really talked about that on the show because there's been a lot of other storylines, but he's a kisser. The rocks One thing he did say was, I hope he was joking and it was a bit, but he said, I got these rocks imported from Spain. So either he's joking or he doesn't know Madrid is in Spain. Because he imported from
obviously
Spain.
A joke.
It had to have been a joke, right?
Yes.
I'm just checking. You don't know what, unless it wasn't. Dude. Unless it wasn't.
Yeah, because his tone wasn't like,
it wasn't
I got these rocks imported from Spain.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're here.
I'm hoping and praying that was a joke. But his tone was what threw me off there. But anyways, unrelated, small moment. Natalie, I think, I think she went as far as she could go. I think this is a proper ending for her. It would have been nice to stay one more week. And I have kind of a hot take here. I think all three women that went home this episode, we'll see in a few months. I think all three of these women will be on Paradise. I think Rose is perfect for Paradise. I think Parissa is it Parissa or Parissa? I've been saying it.
Parissa.
Rock Lady will definitely be
Rock Cat Lady.
Yeah. She just has the personality, quirky, fun.
For at least
Paradise. And then Natalie is young. She's 25. So
yeah, I could see Natalie not wanting to go to Paradise.
That could be fair.
Like, it could just not be her thing, and she just doesn't go. But I think Natalie will have the option to be in Paradise if she wants.
I think she'd be a sneaky sleeper on Paradise too. I think the boys will love Natalie.
100%.
Yeah.
Except for the Short Kings.
Yeah, Jonathan. Oh, Jonathan, poor him and Natalie. That visual would be great.
Yeah.
He's at the bottom, and Natalie walks down the stairs. Hi, I'm Jonathan. Nice to meet you.
Okay. That's why remember when I was saying Paradise matchups, I still see Spencer and Natalie. I see it.
I like that. I like that a lot.
25 and 30, so the age is kind of I feel like Spencer's a young soul though. He's got a young soul.
Yeah, I think they're both fun. Very fun. Which I do want to. Spencer put out a recipe for his little like cupcake things. I bookmarked it. I was like, I want to make these at some point. So maybe
protein cupcakes, or whatever.
Yeah,
or protein pancakes.
No, little tiny sweet treats, little cupcakes. They're great. I'll send it to you. Maybe you should do it. You should do an episode of Baking with Bailey with him. It'd be fun. Anyways, those two went home, and I want to do final roses real quick before we do the scoring.
Yeah, I'm just going through Carolina's stories. They're good.
Yeah, Carolina's going off, just all being like, what am I supposed to love this guy after 1 week?
Which is so valid.
Also, can we do another sleuthing out who's going to win this thing? If Carolina's with Grant right now, you think she's posting on her story all the time like, what am I supposed to love this guy? I'm supposed to love this guy after 1 week? What am I supposed to do? One date, love this guy? And she's sitting next to Grant doing that? Don't think so. So I think that takes her out of it.
Yeah, 100%.
So now we're down to 5. The BachMakers is down to 5. All right, final roses. Who do you got? You got something in mind?
Yeah. My final rose. Do you want to go first? Because I don't want to steal yours if you have it.
I have 2, so go ahead. 2 potential final roses.
Okay. My final rose is going to Miss Katie Thurston. I think everybody saw the news, or at least if you haven't seen the news, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. Obviously very sad to hear that. Us as the BachMakers and the whole Bachelor Nation's behind her. We love her, support her, and praying for her, hoping she gets healed. And I think maybe it's caught early. I don't really know. I haven't read too much into it, but she's always in great spirits, and hopefully that doesn't, really, affect her too much, and she powers through it.
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to Katie. A lot of people are new to BachMakers and don't really know the history of, like, my history with Katie. Katie, before this show even existed, she was willing to interact with me. She came on my old podcast that I had where this show didn't even exist. She came on a few times. I went on her YouTube channel. She is awesome. She is like the sweetest lady ever. She's hilarious, very funny. She recently got engaged to a hilarious comic, Jeff. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Arcuri, maybe.
Something like that.
But hilarious, so fun, just so full of energy. Katie is the best. So all of our thoughts and prayers are with her through this. And she's going to be documenting this journey, which is, I think, very, very cool because I think she has an audience.
You don't see that often. Yeah, you don't see that often.
Because I think she caught it early, she's going to be very vocal about this. And I think it's going to help a lot of people that she's posting about it and being vulnerable with it, which is really cool.
I'm sure there's a lot of people from Bachelor Nation that have not only maybe been through breast cancer or at least definitely know somebody that's been affected by breast cancer.
100%. And I didn't really think about this. I'm mad at myself. I didn't think beforehand, but I do think we should do something, whether it's put out a merch line and all proceeds will go to breast cancer awareness or breast cancer research, stuff like that. So we'll think on that. We'll put something out. So make sure you guys are up to date on what we're posting, but hopefully we can pull something together soon. But yeah, I great final rose. I'm glad you mentioned that because that actually wasn't on my list. So I'm glad we brought that up. And again, Katie, we are with you. We love you and wish you all the best through this. So my final rose, another positive swing on things, is another friend of the program. I think it's official at this point. It's got to be official. Jen and Sasha.
Oh yeah, it's got.
It's like this is official. It's official. Finally, they've teased us.
That TikTok, the Valentine's Day TikTok. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, and we're happy for our girl, Jen. You've come a long way, and she's been with us every step of the way, all from Joey's season where she was a wise gal forever. This is an alumni thing. You're always part of the team. And she always had the sexual innuendos with Jonathan. She played into that. And she got her moment finally after being screwed over by ABC all the time. Very happy for Jen and Sasha.
What? I thought you were going to be like, now it's official. And then talk about how Devin hard launched with his girl on Instagram.
Finally, one for the good guys.
Be like, instead of talking about Jen and Sasha, just be like,
finally,
Devin.
Finally, someone from Jen's season has found love, and it's Devin. Good for him. Also, my backup final rose was Beverly. We didn't talk about this on the show yet, but I put out videos. She just had her appendix removed. That's why she was annexed from the show so quickly. But she's safe, she's healthy, and doing well. And hopefully, she better get a ticket to paradise.
I think it'll be. I mean, why not? Why not?
It sounds like she's game for it.
There. But like she's like what, 30, 31? She might not want to go. I mean, but also she's a model, right? Her profession,
yeah,
she can take the time to do it. So I feel like she'll do it if the call's there. But it's harder to get into paradise this year as a girl. You know that.
Yeah, 100%. All right, let's get into scoring. We will bring in Lizzie and bring in Charlotte, and we'll go from there. So we are here, week 4, roses to give out for the Rose Bowl competition. Lizzie's here for Lizzie's words, too many L's. Lizzie's leading ladies. Lizzie, how do you think your team performed this week? You're muted.
I feel like they performed great. I mean, I have 2 strong contenders on my team still.
1.5.
Don't think they're going away anytime soon. Yeah.
Solid.
Pretty solid.
Charlotte, what was going through your head through this episode before we get to the roses? Overall thoughts, just 5 of the episode.
Overall thoughts, I don't know. I was kind of just unimpressed with everyone a little. And I feel like there's just the romance aspect of this season is lacking overall.
Interesting.
I don't know if that's a hot take or not.
Okay,
that's a pretty
solid take.
Yeah,
I
mean, compared to I think where we were at last week 4 of Joey's season, I think that's very valid comparison.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into it. Let's see where Charlotte gave the roses to. First up, we have MVP. This is where I need points, but I don't know where it's going to go here. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Finally, a wise gal's rewarded. I appreciate that.
A very deserving pick.
I think Dina could have won it. How close is Dina?
Yeah.
Dina had a chance, actually, but I don't know. I really liked Sarafiena this episode. I loved the way she was just so down to jump off the thing, and Grant was the one freaking out on the side. And I think she's had a really good energy. Also, at the beginning of the date, when they were just walking together, I was looking at them and I was like, they just look really like normal together. I feel like they just look so like they really could be a couple. I don't really think she's gonna make it to the end per se, but they just looked really good together. And I think if they had met in real life, they probably could form a good relationship if he didn't meet every other person and wasn't in this situation.
Oh,
So yeah, thumbs up to her.
I like that take.
See,
Solid.
I thought when they were walking on the train tracks, they had like no chemistry like whatsoever, and there was just no riz going on in between them, which was wild.
I don't know. I like her, but she does have influencer
Yeah.
voice.
Influencer voice. I didn't know that was a thing.
Come with me to try.
Exactly.
Come with me to eat all you can eat sushi at New York City's finest sushi restaurant.
Get ready with me for a night out on the town.
My 5 to 9 before my 9 to 5.
Yeah, so that's her.
All right, well, I'm taking the 2 points. I'm happy with the MVP performance. All right, cringe of the week goes to... Ooh.
So I want to explain this because
I mean,
I have, but it's not really about. It is about the Juliana and the Carolina situation, but what actually made me cringe the most was when Juliana was talking to Grant, and the way she was explaining it was like, I like wrote it down, that she was saying that she was blessed, like Caroline was just blessed with such an amazing time with him. And I was like, oof. And then she said, and girls are just praying for a time like that. I was like, oh, it's like not that serious. Like, that was just, I was like, I think Juliana had like the right idea the whole time. Like, all the girls were feeling the same way as her for the most part about the Carolina thing. But Juliana just took it that extra step. And especially in that conversation, that was just hard to watch, I think.
yeah, I didn't talk about that on the recap, but I was going to mention that little clip with her and Grant about how it's very like pick me and very...
I was surprised to hear her talking like that to him.
It seemed a little out of character.
Yeah, because she seemed so. I thought she was so calm, cool, collected. Like we haven't seen. I feel like that much of her. I thought honestly she might get a one-on-one this week, and then she didn't. Wait, I tweeted on like my own account. I was like, oh, like I feel like Sarafiena and Dina and Parisa are on the way out, and then I was like, so wrong. Like I could not have been more wrong this week. Well, about Parisa, I was right, obviously, but yeah, I was really off about Dina and Sarafiena. But yeah, so that was cringy.
Makes sense. Juliana. All right. Best dressed. I never have a good read on where this is going. It's always just one of Bailey's babes, but... And it is. Here we go.
It was the one-on-one date dress,
No,
right?
it was her rose ceremony dress.
Oh.
They were all wearing coats.
No, she was in a really pretty... It looked like Natalie's night one dress, but I don't think it was that. Like, I don't think like they were like, sharing that, but it was a really pretty dress. It was like champagne, and it was kind of like... had a lot going on, but in like a good way. And it was really nice.
Have I lost best dressed yet?
I think you swept best dressed. Because
it was last week.
It was Carolina, Rose, and Dina. Yeah.
Wait. Can we talk about the gloves? Carolina's gloves.
If you want to talk about the gloves, let's talk about the gloves.
That was, and like the pink puff. I was like, what?
Worst dressed?
You wore pants last week. What do you expect?
Yeah, she wore pants.
I don't know. I think, Carolina started off really strong, and then something happened along the way, and now the green dress that she was wearing was like puffy, and like
she ran out.
Cute, but like I think now she's just like trying to be different, and it's not totally working, unfortunately for her. But yeah, so
all right, Dina wins best dress.
Slander's not really.
We all know where this is going.
Okay.
What?
I mean, what are you talking about?
Okay. No way.
Here's my take.
You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding you, but I'm going to tell you why, because I don't think you're going to know what I'm going to say. But
she's not a back-to-back winner yet.
Oh, that
was in the last one.
That was sorry, but this is what I was saying last week when I was saying Carolina wasn't the villain, was because I was like, we don't know the like when I was talking about, or Rose wasn't the villain, I mean. But it's because like, well, we don't know the context of what was said or why it was said because it was off camera and blah, blah, blah. And when Rose was talking about it, Rose was so upset because she was like, I said this to you in confidence. I said it like I didn't want it aired. And I think if Rose wanted to start drama, she 100% would have said it with the camera in their faces because she knew it would blow up and get airtime, like the way it did. And so I think that Carolina, like, aired out this, like, dirty... I, like, really think, like... Because she was saying they were friends, and that's what I suspected because I just don't think Rose seems malicious. And I'm not saying Carolina especially is malicious, but, like, I think she did do Rose dirty. I think that Rose told her something, like, unmiked, no cameras, like, because I think she was trying to be, like, a good friend. And Carolina just turned it on her, and it ended up making Rose look bad, Carolina look better. And I don't think, obviously, Rose and Grant didn't have the best connection. Like, he didn't care that she sent herself home, but I don't think that was awesome behavior of Carolina.
So if you were in Carolina's shoes, and I'm Rose, and we're chit-chatting, you know, behind closed doors, and I tell you that, like, oh, when you were out there making out with Grant, you know, he was thinking about me, and he told me that. Would you be happy or sad?
I would be sad, but
And when Grant told you the week before that, like, if something says something like that, you should come talk to him, would you go talk to him then?
Yeah, I guess so. But I think she handled it in, like, a not great way. I think that she kind of went behind Rose's back. I think there could have been another step of communication there if she wanted to try and, like, if they were the friends that, like, it seemed like Rose was saying they were. And that's just what I think. Neither of us know what actually went down. Like, they could have been roommates. They could have been talking, and Rose could have been like,
roommates
with a go. And then Rose could have felt really guilty. She could have told her, like, you know what I mean? Like, if Carolina just asked her what happened, and then Rose could be like, I feel like I'm holding on to this, and I just feel really guilty because you're my friend, and I want to tell you. But I think...
she should have talked to Grant before she got.
I think that things could have happened, but I don't...
I mean, Michael, that's the pick. Carolina's villain of the episode. Like...
My name is Juliana.
The way that... Okay.
Either way, you get the points.
Yeah, Juliana handled it really weirdly, I think, but
yeah.
In the beginning,
we got Juliana with the cringe. So, like, yeah.
In the first, like, 3 minutes of the episode, though, they showed Juliana, like, telling Carolina in, like, a kind way, like, hey, like, what you were doing was just really, like, it was, like, unsettling for everyone else, like, the way that you're just moping and, like, talking about time that none of us had is just not nice. And she said it super normally, I thought, and, like, kind of respectful, but I think Caroline just wasn't open to any criticism. No matter what anyone was going to say to her, I don't think she wanted to hear it.
Fair enough. All right, now moment of the week. I don't know where this is. Oh, what'd she do?
She was getting whipped around that bowl, like, tush out in the air, just
face down, ass up.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say the leading up to that when she said the inappropriate, very not PG thing when she was riding the donkey.
Oh wait, I don't even remember.
They didn't even catch it. They didn't.
I caught it.
She said, okay, so she said she's riding the donkey, and I'm gonna misquote it, but she was like, what'd she say, Mike? It was
like, if you sit on it a certain way, it kind of feels good.
She was like, is anyone else feeling that? And they're like, feeling what? She goes, well, if you sit on it the right way. And that was it.
Yeah.
And it was like, wait a second. Are you saying what I think you're saying right now?
She was
that's a strange thing to say on TV with there's cameras there, Alex. But that's my girl getting points for the Wise Gals. That's huge. We needed that.
I like Alex. She's just funny and weird.
All right, let me do the math real quick. So, 2 roses, 3 roses, 27, 2 roses. 22. I got 21 because I won 2. Michael, you won 3. Oh, you're running away with this thing. 3 times 2 is 5. 33. All right. Those are the standings. Any final thoughts on this episode by anyone?
There's a few tweets.
Oh, I forgot tweets. I always forget tweets of the week. It's a good way to end it.
Also, is there a daily double coming up, or like when is that happening? Is it not? I mean, is it not next week?
She'll tell you. I love this.
Well, we have to know the week before to get us hyped. But
she hasn't said it, so it's probably not.
I have to say the week before.
Yeah.
Is next week the week before hometowns?
Yeah.
Maybe. It could be. I don't know. You just have to let us know. She just has to let us know the Monday of. But is next week?
Is next the week before hometowns? Because that's like the best week.
I don't know if that's gonna be next week. I don't think they're getting rid of 3.
Oh, well, then I just spoiled it.
So you're just saying whatever the Red Wedding week is.
I don't know what.
We don't know. That's a Game of Thrones reference. She probably doesn't get it. I've never.
When a lot of people die.
I don't think there's no way they're 2 weeks away from hometowns. They're not going to hometowns in week 6.
Wait, they said they're halfway through though, so they are, because then there's like there's fantasy
week 7.
I will be floored if 3 people go home next week.
9 is finale. How many episodes are there normally every season? I'm tripping. I thought there was
10 to 12.
Like 10.
It depends.
So that means if next week is the week before hometowns, it'd be 9 total with the tell-all.
Maybe. I don't know math. Anyway,
okay, well, so the week before hometowns.
Is next week the daily double?
Sure. Next week the daily double.
No, wait. This is bullshit. Mike's bullying you into doing that, knowing Juliana gets a date.
That's not true.
You know Juliana gets a
date.
That's
so not.
You're 100%. You're 100%.
I was thinking the week before hometowns, and I just don't know if that's next week or not.
Okay, how about this?
We'll know after the episode?
After the episode, if it's doubled. If we go into hometowns. That's fair. That's fair, Mike. That's fair. All right. Tweets of the week. Sarafiena heard you will accept this. Will you accept this rose? Forgot all about the mom thing. Love that. That I talked about rocks too much. Poor Parisa.
My girl left.
The audience during the bull riding, great. And then so Natalie's face, incredible. I love
when there's scroll.
And we got more.
Well, that's it.
Yep. We had the great idea. We both had the same idea.
Yours was funnier, but because you put more thought into it. Oh, that's it. But
sweet. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching this episode of BachMakers. We'll be back next week, and make sure to tune into our traders recaps as well if you're watching that. If you watch this far, subscribe, get us to 5K, and we'll see you next week. Peace. Thanks for watching this episode of BachMakers. If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider joining our Patreon page linked in the description below. It's $5, cup of coffee, and it helps support us a ton. Thank you, and maybe we'll see you next week.
Yeah, and from next week on the BachMakers, we shave Wyatt's head off.
Maybe. Only one way to find out.
By tuning in.
That was implied.
Back to you in the studio.
And cut.
Thanks, Julianne.